Hello, my friends. Today we have on Carla Tornielli. Um, Say hi, Carla.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
Beautiful.
okay. Hello, everyone. What's up? Thank you for having me, bro.
Oh, always a pleasure. Yeah, tonight I was going to do another masterclass session. I missed last week because I was busy doing some work related stuff. But yeah, we're doing it tonight. So we're gonna have some fun. But I want to break down for people though as well, since I only have 4 days left on Shadow of the Kraken, my pirate story. I want to tell people a little bit about this one. And again, if you're not familiar with it. It is more of a traditional type pirate story, or at least it starts out that way, and then we're going to get into very awesome, cool elements and stories. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time. But I'll just break it down real quick for you too. Shadow of the Kraken. It is a tale about the darkness of man and the actions that one takes to get back into the light. The hunt for treasure and power, with betrayal looming around every corner. The fight for survival is palpable. This is a can't miss adventure. So if you're looking for that awesome fun, this is the book that's going to give it to you. This is definitely some of the best work I've done to date. We're going to be following this main character, Nathaniel James Callan, and Anne Galloway. She's a survivor in her own right. You'll find out in the book how and why they're doing what they're doing. Nathaniel goes from being part of the Royal Navy into piracy. And you'll see what else he's doing there too. There are specific reasons for why he went into being a pirate, and I'm going to show kind of the survival aspects of it. But then we're going to get into some really cool stuff too with these treasures and stuff, and like the skull alone, it has a map carved into it. It's coded. There's a lot of different stuff going on with that, and you'll find out how it kind of pertains to the rest of the series. Again, some high action violence. This is not your Disney pirate story. This is definitely something a little bit more on the brutal side of things. It's going to have beautiful locations, beautiful women. Here's one of the main characters. So yeah, it's going to be a great ride. We have a villain that's really awesome too. This guy is an evil piece of work through and through. You're going to find out about him. A big reveal towards the end of the book regarding the character as well. Kind of what he's doing, how he's pulling strings from the shadows. Like I said, lots of twists and turns, ups and downs. Really crazy visuals I'm going to be putting into this book. So like I said, I kind of started off a little more traditional, and then we get into cooler elements. But you'll find out as the book goes along and as the series goes along. This is 50 pages. If we hit the stretch goals, it'll go up to about 60 to 65 pages. The majority of the book is completed. I am still working my ass off on it, though. So there's tons of detail, lots of stuff going on. This campaign is kind of unique. It's the first one that I'm working on as I'm actually running the campaign. We're going to be going in demand in a couple of days, but yeah, this is going to be the last campaign that I do like this. I'm going to go back to how I did my other 5 campaigns. It's going to be the book's finished, and then I'm going to launch because I'm finding out how difficult it is to juggle all this stuff, trying to get more pages done, trying to showcase other creators. Now I started teaching as well, and tonight we're going to be going over some really cool stuff regarding some of the lessons that I showed earlier in the week and last week. So I'm going to do a little bit of a mix of both. So yeah, it's going to be fun. But yeah, please check out all this stuff. I'm not going too thorough into the campaign right now. I'm just giving you guys a brush up. And please tweet this out, share it on social media. It's definitely going to help a whole lot because word of mouth is what really gets these campaigns off the ground. I did add on at the bottom over here. So if you guys are looking for my other projects and the books you could still get that are available. Click the links on the bottom. Those books ship immediately, just so you guys know. All 4 of them. The first 3 you could find all on the City of Venus campaign. Through the Woods is the hardcover. You guys can find it on its own as well. But yeah, go check those out. I do have some drawing tiers that I added to this campaign. So if you're looking for original head sketches, and the book. Those options are available now as well. So check those out. And this cover, once I'm ready to start fulfilling, I'm going to remove this one from all the tiers except for maybe the big bundle tiers. So yeah, if you want to grab this, please do grab it as soon as you can. This is the special variant. So yeah, and since we have Carla here, I just want to show really quickly as well, Witch Hunter, this beautiful project. She's going to start advertising a little bit more. I think you said starting tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, the thing is that we launched this project on October 27th, right? And I was in my last trimester of pregnancy, so it was very hard to keep up with all the streamings and all the work that takes promoting a book. So like in the middle of the campaign, we stopped promoting, but now it's in demand, it's funded, everything's good, everything's going smoothly. The art is already everything finished. Both endings everything's finished. Only thing left to do is the coloring and the lettering. So yeah, like I'm getting ready to get back to promoting the book again. So yeah, you're gonna see me everywhere.
Beautiful.
So yeah, basically this book has two different covers, cover A and cover B. Cover A is mine, is the manga cover, and cover B is by this very Italian man here, my brother Vinnie. He did cover B, and each one of these covers have a different ending, have different endings. So it's as if, more or less, as if you get two different books, right? There's also a lot of extras. There's a lot of very cool stuff that we're going to include in the packages. So yeah, everybody, please back it. Look at the work that Vinny did for this book. This is, this is quality. This is quality. We're putting a lot of effort on it, and we learned a lot in our previous campaigns. And if you're asking about Baby Yoda, let me show you my little Baby Yoda who's here watching Uncle Vinny stream. Hello.
Look at that cute baby.
Hello. She's there like making some baby sounds. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, mom? So
what's happening?
Right?
But yeah. This beautiful book is they're getting just amazing work done. Javier's been drawing his ass off. He's done amazing work on here. Carla's doing the colors. She's also going to do the backup story.
Yes.
She's going to have Stan the Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the short story. Here he is. Yeah, so that's going to be great. So yeah, guys, if you haven't yet, back this. This is a very fun book. This is going to be awesome. Lots of cool stuff going on with it. You get both covers. Highly recommend people getting both covers.
Please.
Yeah, you're going to get both different endings. We'll see what happens too, because like I said, knowing John, if he does want to continue this, it depends on what people like more. I think he'll end up grabbing it again, because we know John's kind of erratic.
Right? Yeah.
He says one thing and then he pivots and goes in a different direction. So
disorganized creative mind.
Yeah. So yeah, if you like monsters, you like, these kind of cool stories that have that kind of flavor of Van Helsing a little bit. This is definitely the kind of book that you're going to want.
Absolutely. Please back it. We're still finishing all the production, so you're still in time to get your book. It's already funded. Everything's good. But if we keep putting the numbers up, we can get like more stuff done, more pages, and more quality stuff for you. So
for sure. Absolutely. So it's going to be a beautiful thing. Give some love to all these great projects. It's going to be really, really, really awesome. But speaking of really awesome, let's get into class, man. Yeah, today I posted up the drawing tutorial on hands, and I thought we'd get a little bit more into it, break things down some more for you guys if you'd like. Also, I did have the other streams the other lessons that I gave, and I was supposed to do live stream on those, so we could probably break that down further as well. What was it? It was drawing the human back and all that great stuff. So we went into that. What else do I have here? Yeah, we did drawing some sexy ladies.
Ooh.
So yeah, I've been putting my classes all on the same the same file basically, so I could kind of access them quickly and easily.
Yeah, I was noticing that. Like, it's a sexy lady, but in a very perfectly built perspective, like, sitting in a perfect. Uh, oh my
Yeah,
God, English. There's
yeah,
perspective studies there. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah. I was trying to break it down a little bit. So and again, like I want to get into like a more of a proper class on perspective. I'm going to try to figure out how to do a better way of doing it, because on the computer it is a little bit trickier to get nice straight lines. I
Mm.
know Clip Studio has a feature where you could do that kind of stuff, so I'll play around just so I can kind of teach you guys a little bit more. But in the meantime, like I'm going to start breaking down more anatomy for everybody, kind of poses and how everything kind of works together. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting anyway, or I hope so.
Very cool.
But yeah, so we could get into it a bit. Because I know, Carla, you also said that you're going to be looking at all this stuff too, because hands are sometimes tricky for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're my nemesis.
Well, we'll try to break it down into simple shapes, um, to get everyone kind of on the same page as well. And from there, it's going to be a lot of, like I said, a lot of practicing, breaking it down yourself, learning. Because I am self-taught in all this, so these are kind of like some of the things that I've either picked up from reading different books or I just practice on my own. And yeah, I hope that it's going to be kind of easy for you guys to get what I'm saying and what we're doing. And if not, like I said, oh wait, we got a guest here. Matt, what's up, buddy?
Howdy, folks.
Hello, Matt.
Hey, Carla.
Matt's an awesome guy. Always a welcome friend on these streams.
How's it going, Vinny and Carla?
Not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah, we're gonna be teaching people again how to draw. We'll break this down a little bit further. So Carla, what's something that's, I don't know, I guess difficult about the hands for you?
Everything. I mean, how do you even start to do them? I mean, I always like look at reference, trying to copy more or less, but I feel like the hand can change so much the basic shapes. It's not something like it's more or less always the same. Like it's like so easy like to change everything. So like how do you like keep it like making sense even though the hand is like all twisted or like in different angles?
Well, see, and all right, so that's the thing where we have to think about is the base of the hand, right? The palm area. So that's basically what I'll sketch out. I'll do a hand that's kind of pointing downward. And let's say the front here, we'll go like with like a Muppety kind of looking shape here. So the wrist, from the knuckle to the wrist and the knuckle to the tips of the fingers, they are the same distance. So, but the thing you got to remember with hands is it rounds and they taper. So the finger that's protruding out the most is going to be, or at the highest point, is going to be the middle finger. You have your index finger, the ring finger, and then the pinky. So again, we're just doing a simple shape, and then yeah, you wanna add the thumb in there. We'll just stick it out here for a minute, and the thumb basically it has like kind of like this arrowy kind of shape to it. So if again, what we're doing is we are thinking about shapes and the knuckles and. The thing is, with hands, we have like fatty parts to it, and where the muscles are and stuff like that. And we could get further into that as we're talking about all this stuff. But the thing is too, like with the knuckles, it also has that shape, the same shape that the front of the fingers are gonna have. It's that same kind of pattern. You know what I mean? And then from there, like the tendons. They go into this kind of emotion towards the wrist. Let me clean that up. I got sloppy. Sorry.
It had never occurred to me to use those two arcs. That's already incredibly handy. Yeah, no pun intended, I guess.
Well, and that's the thing too, right? Well, when you start moving the hands around, so that's why, like earlier on my stream, I had the that kind of flask type of a shape, like a drinking flask,
Mhm.
that it bows.
Yeah.
That kind of deal. And obviously, if it's a drinking flask, you can have the top of it here or whatever. But we're not going
Sure.
to do that part. Because that's the thing. If you look at your own hand, it is, even in that relaxed state, it always kind of
Yeah,
it wants to
cups.
bend. Yeah, it eclipses, or it goes into that kind of inward bend. So that's what you got to think about when we're talking about. Hold on, let me pull this down so I can draw more of the fingers in. So yeah, so basically, and then you're gonna add your thumb area into this. We're just gonna put, again, just kind of off to the side. I'm not thinking too much about the thumb at the moment, other than like I said, the shapes, the knuckles, that kind of deal. But when we're putting like the fingers in, think hot dogs, think cylinder type shapes, and that's why usually when people do quick simple drawings, they do something like this, right? But the thing is, like, from where it protrudes from, like, we start to let's give it some shape, let's give it some form. And the thing is too, like, where it bends, where the fingers bend, it also has that bowed shape, right? So what we're going to be thinking about, it's more on that side, where, I'll erase this because I drew it too quick and too sloppy. But essentially, where the joints are in the fingers, they all have that same kind of shape to them, and that in that direction. So this is how you're gonna sort of break down where the placement is on all of that. So once you start to bend the fingers, if you're thinking in those terms, it's going to be a little bit easier to figure out where the placement is on all that stuff. So even like the knuckles, where it bends on the inside and the outside. And again, since the middle finger is the one that protrudes out the most, I'll start to give some shape to these. Because again, the Muppet hands are usually something that you could do just to rough something in quickly. But if you want to have a proper shape to them, you start doing like the kind of tubes and where they bend. So clean some of this up. And then, like, when you're thinking about the thumb, so the palm itself is going to have like the meatiest part. So we could erase some of this right there. But also, so like the palm has like that kind of, you could put like a cylinder, a circle, a ball, something in your hand. Our hands are designed for picking things up, right? And all those kind of bends and stuff come into like that webbed part where the thumb is, where the thumb meets the rest of the hand. So it all stems like from that one point like this, So here's the thumb area. Yeah, I think you get the idea, right? I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best not to, because I know there's some people who are complete novices, and there's some people who have a good working knowledge. So I'm trying to find a middle ground with all this stuff. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in being hands-on and studying.
Oh.
Yeah, pun intended. No, but like seriously, draw as many hands as you can. Try to look at your own. Take photos from different angles. You have a loved one that's nearby, or just photos off the internet. Just draw as many hands as possible. You're going to start to see other things. Things are going to be broken down in a better way for you. Because that's what I've done. Like, and no one held my hand through any of the drawing process. I've always,
keep coming.
Yeah. By the way, if anyone
Gotta hand it to you, sir.
Keep an eye out for the chat, like I said, because as I'm teaching, I'm not looking at the chat. So if either one of you could, if there's something that pops up.
There's a really good question from Blue Samurai Zero. He's saying, you seem to apply shapes to building the anatomy from the inside out. Does that work better than taking shapes from what one sees on the model of reference photo from the outside?
Well, again, there are very different approaches. So the approach that I'm doing is just something that I've always kind of done. When you're studying from life, you're going to be seeing things in a different way, right? So you're gonna break it down slightly different, and that's a good thing too. I'd say what you should do is practice with shapes, study your own hands, but then again, like, and if we're getting into a bigger, broader area when it comes to like life drawing, this is why a lot of teachers, or if you go to these schools and that kind of thing, they want you to do fast drawings. So the model will have a certain pose and you have a time limit to do it in, right? So it's like, okay, you only have about 5 minutes to do this drawing, and then we're going to go on to the next pose. Then maybe you can only have 3 minutes for this pose. So get down what you see quickly. And that's usually like a good way to start training your eye on how things work and how you could break it down in a better fashion. So when we're talking about hands too, anyway, like if you are looking at your own, you're going to see that webbing in between them. So that's another thing that you have to think about, including by the thumb as well. Some people have, webbed feet and webbed toes, but it's something similar, right? It's that excess skin. Freaks, like Matt said, they're freaks. But yeah, that means they're also good swimmers. You gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So there's pluses and minuses to everything, right?
Yeah, like superpowers.
Right. If you take off your shoes and you're in the locker room, they'll call you a freak. But when you jump in the water and you take off like Aquaman, then it's like,
yeah. But if you're in a crashed ship, they're gonna want your feet.
Exactly. So all right, I just noticed that my index finger is a little bit long, but regardless, like I said, it's going to be a lot of trial and error too. So just think about it. I kind of, again, like what I did earlier today, how I was breaking down some of the other parts of it. They are mostly shapes. We're going to be, it's all these kind of, they're tubes. So once you start bending the tubes, you're going to start to get different things happening. You're going to get a lot out of it. It's getting sloppy. But it builds up and it forms. So let's say that's the thumb. Right, that's too small. Hold on. And it's kind of like what the bones in the fingers are as well. So if you ever look at a skeleton and how it kind of it's broken down, the only thing that's difference between the skeletal system and kind of what we have, it's the fatty tissue, it's the muscles, it's all that stuff, and that's what's kind of how it connects in a better way for everybody. But like you could see what we're going with this, and again, it's just putting it all together, how it works. Yeah, I don't know. Guys, am I doing all right as a teacher on this
Doing
stuff?
great.
Should we move on to other stuff, or should we still
You're
talk?
doing great. I'm just muting because somebody's a little bit angry.
Angry or hangry? So let's
draw hands either.
Can't draw hands. That's what we're crying about.
Yeah, I do often.
Again, once we like break down other shapes and patterns. Again, remember that the fingers are always kind of, as we bend our hands inward and stuff, they're going to fold over. Everything kind of folds over. Again, I'm going a little bit more loose so I could just get a certain rhythm that I'm looking for in the drawings that I'm doing. So say this is like a hand that's kind of reaching out for something. We're about to pick something up.
I find it so weird, like the all the thumb area is, I don't know, like I really struggle to find where it is in different positions. I
Mhm.
guess you just have to like take photos of it or something, right?
Well, yeah, you can take photos and study. I mean, you just look how it moves, how the tendons pull. Because when the thumb is further out, when it's further out like that, you're gonna have a lot of pulling on that inner part. You know where it connects, and that's why you get like those kind of those bends
Right.
in those folds. Like I said, it all kind of comes from that area, and then it goes inward into that kind of curved position
Hmm.
because our hands naturally want to bend like that.
Hmm. So many like little details, little things.
It is little things, but like again, remember like where the knuckle placement is, and look, when we have this, we have that shape still. You know, it kind of they curve, but since that finger's up, it's going to be affected a little bit differently. And then like again, like look at your own hands. I know there's a pulling that comes in between, you know, between the index finger and the middle finger.
Something I always tend to mess up or make look awkward is getting the break between the forearm and the wrist and the hand to look correct.
The form, the wrist, and the hand. Oh, actually, yeah, I covered that a little bit on my on the video earlier. So that's the deal is that we basically have, if that's like the hand up here, we'll put it in a cone kind of shape, you know, and then you know the thumb and all that. It goes in this kind of upward position,
Mm-hmm.
and then it kind of bends inward into the forearm. So if you're gonna put your hand out like that, put it down flat, you're gonna have the bump from the wrist that's over here. So if you think about the wrist of being like a ball joint kind of deal, which it is, and that's why like a lot of those 6 scale figures, Hot Toys, things like that, like it's interesting to see, or even on the smaller scale things, if people like Marvel Legends and whatnot, you know, you could see that type of thing because with those figures that they try to make a little bit more realistic, that's why I brought up like Hot Toys. They're trying to get more of a natural position so that like you could pose them and make them look like, you know, like little human statues or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think in terms of that, like it'll give you a better idea as well, kind of how it all flows, and all that kind of good stuff. And, you know, obviously with the fingertips, but again, like I said, the thumbs, they are 3 parts, but what you got to think about is I'm trying to clean it up a little, is the joint here, you know, by the top of it, and then how it goes into the. I should be using a thinner brush. So like you have the bigger one, and then it goes into the fatty part that's back here.
Yeah, those side views illustrate that real well that you've got right there.
And then you put the thumbnail in there. But yeah, it's that kind of a deal. What we're thinking about, what we're looking at with all this kind of stuff. I know it could get tricky, but again, study them, see what kind of things kind of work for you, and again, like look at old people's hands because you can see the knuckles and stuff really defined. It's really clear to see. Since because they're older, the fatty parts of the fingers and the skin, they're thinner, so more of like the bony parts are going to be popping out. But then if it's somebody who like if they did like a lot of construction in their lives and stuff, they'll have like thicker fingers and yeah, it's really kind of crazy and interesting.
I love Don Bluth's old person hands.
Yeah, that's a great example. And see, and that's the cool thing too. It's like study from life, and then look at the different artists and kind of what they do,
Mm-hmm.
and it should give you a pretty good idea of just different things that you could achieve. Because Don Bluth, he's got a lot of those. There's a couple different artists that actually do that as well. they'll almost. It's like everything is kind of the big knuckle joints.
Yeah, very bony, and they tend to move their fingers around a lot too.
Yeah, which is pretty cool too. But again, if it's, we also got to think about those shapes and what we're doing with our hands.
Yeah, I mean, once you actually like get how it works, you can exaggerate it as much as you want, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because normally, well, at least in manga, they tend to like exaggerate a lot. The moments or the perspectives are like super super exaggerated.
Right.
But first, of course, you have to learn these basics to be able to exaggerate them, right?
Exactly. I mean, like, look at those fatty parts of the hands and stuff, and how it bends, how they pull. There's some fingers like you could do certain poses, but you can't do them with other fingers because how it pulls on the tendons. So you're gonna pick up different things all the time. We got a really scrunched kind of hand going on. But again, just think about shapes right now, and that's gonna help you out more than you know. And practice.
Hmm.
I mean, hands. You could be drawing hands all day long from all different positions, and that's definitely a good thing. That's why I did the one like from the underside over here to kind of show a little bit more of what you could do, how it works. We could. I'm surprised I haven't done it yet, but we could definitely do like the Spider-Man kind of pose.
Yeah.
I don't know why we haven't done that yet, but again, I'll do it a little bit exaggerated, and then maybe we'll get in there a little bit better. But here's the thing too, that because of fingers and stuff, you're going to get foreshortening. So that's why once you start to learn more about it and what you could do, your drawings will start to get better and better when it comes to breaking all that stuff down. So let's say this one is sort of he's shooting his from I messed up where the knuckles are because I see I went rough and I went quick. But again, no matter if your hand's straight, upside down, whatever it is, you still have that kind of bowed shape. And obviously the middle finger knuckle is going to be the one that pops out the most. And then since we're dealing with again the fatty parts of the hand and all that, and same deal, it's break down your 3 points where it connects. And a good way of doing it, like I said, if you do kind of those shapes where the bottom of the fingers are going to be more rounded over since it's the soft part, and if you do the top with kind of more straight lines, and then it goes to that point where the knuckle is, and you kind of we're doing like that wavy kind of motion, and then like I said, the other part's going to be softer on the top. So this is super exaggerated, but and then it connects into the rest of it. But like those are the type of things that really work and play out well. John Buscema, he's definitely an artist to look at the way he draws hands, and you really get that kind of breakdown in a good way. Greg Capullo was really good at drawing kind of like those old man hands. Lately, he goes a little bit. I noticed he's been going more flat with his hands for some reason. I don't know if it's just the style he changed. That's why I said learn the basics first, and then start playing with style. And that way, you'll get it down in a better fashion, in a better way.
Yeah, you got to learn how to drive before you can race.
Exactly.
Wookie wants to know if you're using a just like a stylus to draw with, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer to do these things with pencil and paper, but I don't have a proper setup. So like the best way for me to do it is going to be through the computer like this. And I'm working on Clip Studio, which I don't normally use, but the doing the lines are a little bit smoother than if it was Photoshop. So that's why I'm kind of doing it this way. But yeah, it's like I said, I don't think it's too tricky, but it's, again, if you play with the angles of stuff, look at your hands, take photos if you're really stuck, and try to redraw them. See what you could do. Worst comes to worst, if you want to even just again, I would never say this ever, but if it's just in terms of learning, trace over a hand and just break down like where the joints are, where the knuckles are. Try to get a better understanding of how it all works, and I think it should help in a good way.
A thing that I do a lot, not just with hands and stuff, but if you have just a video camera, like you can be like moving your hand in front of the video camera, and then you can go frame by frame after that, you know, to get a bunch of different angles and stuff.
Oh,
without
absolutely.
having to worry about snapping a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, that's definitely a good thing to do for sure. And like I said too, like, with the fingers and all this kind of stuff, the hands bow. Like if you clench your fist and you really twist it, you'll have the last two knuckles will start to come in. It'll come inward. So if you want to exaggerate things in a really great way, that's a fantastic way of doing it. You know, and obviously you can put the thumb in here. Part of the hand. But like the center part of your fingers, where it comes from the knuckle downward, like that's where you're gonna have this kind of shape in here. But don't go flat. If you go flat, you're gonna, like right here, I'll tell you right now, this is an Eric Larson hand right here. It's an Eric Larson hand. There's no proper shape, or he'll just go straight over, and here's the thumb. Boom, boom, boom. That's a hand. That's not a hand. Sorry. What you want to do?
Sometimes a Mignola hand.
Well, Mignola, he's got a better way of doing it, but yeah, I've seen him do a little bit of both. It depends on what they're doing.
Yeah, it depends on how far away, you know, the.
Right, and especially when we're talking about comic books, it's kind of a different story.
Yeah.
Because you're doing tiny drawings. A lot of people trying to make deadlines and all that kind of stuff. So
I think Ricky wants to know if you're using like a Wacom or what.
I'm using a Cintiq.
And the stylus that comes with it, probably.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, so, and then like we get into here where you're gonna have all that pulling. So if you're looking at your hands, the wrinkles in the hands. Let me get that thumb in here. Again, if it's pencil and paper, I have a little bit more control. Sometimes they have a heavy hand, sometimes they go a little bit lighter, but again, for teaching, this is the best I could do at the moment. So you're gonna have to forgive me on that, guys. But so, and then we could shade in all this stuff. Since it's on the underside, there's no specific reason that we have to see that right now, but because we're focusing on the top part and where the fattiness is of the fingers and the hands and that kind of deal. So, and again, if we're looking where I'll erase it here a little bit.
Yeah, look at Buscema hands. Look at Through the Woods.
Through the
and
Woods.
City of Venus hands.
It was very good to look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said, like I'm looking at my own hand as I'm clenching a fist, and you could see that it starts to pull. Everything kind of pulls. You know, like I said, you have the outside of the palm, which kind of, you know, you could break it down into certain shapes as well. But it all pulls into the fingers of where you're going. It's the center point, you know, and then you could.
I'm practicing myself here.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I was doing something else, and now I'm drawing hands.
Me too.
See,
Oh,
and it's
we can't miss this chance, right?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can't miss it.
This is a golden opportunity.
Right?
It's amazing. It's
You have
fantastic.
to take it.
You know, and then obviously the hands could go into the forms and all that good stuff. But like I said, we're kind of giving a little bit more for you guys to kind of play with. Again, apologies, I'm not keeping an eye on the chat. Like I said, I'm just trying to give you guys a better overall on kind of how it all works. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Cool. Oh, thanks, Corey. I appreciate it, brother. Like I said, I'm trying to give a little bit more to all this stuff. Hopefully, a lot of people are starting to learn a bit more. Like I said, I'm going to try to do more of these types of streams. I'll do more like the breakdown drawings during the week, and then, like I said, by the end of the week, we'll cover a little bit more. Kenny 90, hey brother, yeah, I got to get you on one of these too. Probably like when we do the ladies again, when we go over the ladies a little bit more, we could break stuff down. But yeah, today we've been messing around with shapes of hands, fingers. Like I said, it's the tubes. It's this kind of deal is what we're dealing with. So that's why cartoons, shit like even like McFarlane. Like a lot of people love what he was doing because he's another one who has great hands. If you want to get a good look, especially his work with the Spider-Man stuff, because he would do the knuckles really kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that kind of deal.
Yeah, and his obviously Spawn was always doing some weird magic and distorting his hands in some way.
Right. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Shit. Greg Capullo, when he was doing the Spawn stuff, he would go gnarly with those hands. You know, he would get some really crazy cool poses.
Yeah, I feel like Spawn was an excuse for people to do wizard hands.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, that's actually a good point. So yeah, if we were gonna do maybe a hand that's kind of a little bit along those lines, and we're thinking about like the hand is kind of scrunched up. So again, I'd like to get the thumbs kind of pointed out. But again, think about your shapes, where you want your knuckles or those fingers to kind of come out from. But since they bow and they turn inward, you know, we could start to slip them. Again, I know I start to get a little bit more advanced and they get a little bit messy, but it's just kind of getting poses in there, which you have to think about. And when the hand kind of curves inward, like the smaller fingers are going to almost look like they're bigger than the rest of the other ones. You know, because if you look at your hand and how you kind of turn it inward, it's sort of like that deal. Like I said, not everything's going to be a winner, so you could play around. Like I said, mess around with the poses that you want to do, what you want to get across, what you're trying to do. Maybe I'm just going to change the thumb altogether. I don't like how it's looking, and it's affecting the rest of the drawing. But again, if it's something that's a little bit more specific, then you could do all kinds of different things. But yeah, it's like, are you drawing great kind of regular poses? Are you going to do more monster type hands? There's all sorts of different ways of approaching it. If you want the thumb outward, inward, if it's a monster, they're going to be you know, you probably have a bigger approach to it all as well. So like if again, I'm running out of space here. Let me get rid of this. I've had other really great examples as well. Like if anyone has any of my art books, I've done so many different things regarding like monsters, regular people, all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, like I have a Wolfman in there. I went very kind of specific with what I did with the hands. They're very thick, meaty, and then they have like the claws on the ends. So like
Right. Yeah, they're also different.
it's the one thing I don't like about Clip Studio is that I can't just change the size of my brushes and stuff from the stylus. I have to go to the site to do it. I don't know. I need to talk to somebody who's really like an expert at this, using Clip Studio, so that it's a little bit easier for me to swap things on the fly. Once you get a better understanding, like you could start to like break down just the shapes themselves and how it works. And then obviously you get in there and again erase or do whatever you got to do, especially how you're breaking it down. Because with pencil, I'll go a lot lighter on how I'm breaking down shapes of things, and then I'll start darkening certain areas so it's clear. Digitally, it's slightly different, and it could look a little bit more messy. That's why I keep going back and erasing a bit more, so you guys can see a little bit of what I'm doing. So yeah, so like basically with the monster hand, like again, you can see things are a little bit thicker, a little bit more gnarly. It is similar rules when it comes to doing, again, like the breakdown of how it works, the pattern of the knuckles and the fingers, that type of deal. So yeah, I hope everyone who watches this or watches on the replay will gain a lot from it.
I'm gonna rewatch it, and I was here.
Yeah, I probably will as well.
Yeah, this is the kind of things that to internalize them, you have to like go over and over and over. That's why I wasn't kidding, bro, when I say I was going to watch it until the day I die.
Yeah, I like that you're building up a library of all of this stuff, so I can give myself a mega art class.
We appreciate it.
That's cool. I'm glad. I'm really, really glad to hear that, because there's a few people who have been messaging me and like they look forward to the next one. So I figured, yeah, I'll do more of them. I'll make some time and get more of these out there.
Honestly, it even just helps to see a little bit of the workflow too. You know, just the lines and the decision making and stuff. Like it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, that's great to hear, because I think it's always great to brush up on this stuff as well. Because like once you're doing it for so long, it almost becomes like a muscle memory, and you kind of forget a little bit of like the breakdown of the process. So when you brush up like this, if you have trouble later on, you go, oh, I'll just go back and do the process of, the shapes, the simple shapes again. And, it'll get you in a better place. Because it's the more you do, the better you're going to get. That's what they keep saying. Put at least 10,000 hours into whatever it is that you want to do, you want to achieve. And yeah, you'll be a master in no time.
Yeah. You want to know something disgusting?
What's that?
I just hit 10,000 hours on Savage.
Oh, shit.
What?
That's not disgusting. That's awesome. On Matt's video game.
Oh.
I would not encourage this behavior in anyone who wants to make money or actually produce,
Right? Well, but you must learn something, though.
Yeah, I learned not to spend 10,000 hours on the next thing.
Shit. That's awesome, man. But yeah, so I hope this example with the monsters, and obviously if it's a hairy hand, hairy arm, I'm just gonna go loose.
Yeah, nice and hairy.
Nice and hairy. He's Italian. He didn't clip his nails.
No, Ma, I don't want a sandwich. I'm not hungry.
Oh shit. So yeah, like I said, it's there's a lot of stuff you could do. Just kind of mess around, play around. Do your practice. Do your practice.
Yeah, got to do your reps.
Do your reps.
This is incredibly helpful because I've spent so much obnoxious time doing pixel art and no time with my traditional drawing that I'm rusty as hell now.
Yeah, well, again, man, make a little bit of time, get that work in there, and you're gonna feel awesome about it. You'll be, oh, right, now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like I said, you'll develop more of a style too on what you're doing, what you're going for, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm just going over some of these a little bit more, just again to get structure down. And yeah, and we're playing with it all. We're playing with it all. So yeah, I hope we covered enough on the hands. I got a huge freaking page of them over here. Not too shabby. If I erase this, maybe we could slip another one in. But I think we're pretty good with this. Doing all right. Let me think. If we do something a little bit more, trying to think if we play with some foreshortening a bit. Maybe I'll break it down in a different kind of, because now this is going to be like your close one eye and like stare at your hand and like what's coming at you the most, that type of deal, where your knuckles are. So once you get down the first part I was kind of showing you guys, then you want to be a little bit more over dramatic with what you're doing.
Yeah, extreme angles.
Again, but try to think about those kind of rules that we were kind of setting in motion before. The tapering of, like, again, how the hands kind of go inward. So if it's somebody who's kind of pointing, you have the index finger that's more at you, that type of deal.
You're fired.
You're fired. You what is it? You're what did the Coca-Cola guys say? Be less white. No, you're fired.
Jesus.
Holy shit! There's another business that did that too recently. I forgot which company it was. That they want their employees to be more or less white. Oh, Under Armour. Under Armour did it too now.
The underwear thing?
Yeah, they got the workout clothes, all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Incredible.
Psychos. Everyone's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That was looking.
Accidentally let lunatics in the middle management. And they failed upward.
Mm-hmm. And they're running the asylum.
Yeah.
The crazies are running the asylum, folks. So we'll I'm gonna do like this darker area will be like the underside of those fingers, just to kind of get in there. I just want to show shapes right now. Kind of where everything is pulling from, stemming from. Think about the knuckles. Think about the fattiness of those hands.
Yeah. God damn, you're so good at this.
Oh, dude, thank you. Half the time, I don't know if like, oh, is this going to be too boring? Are people going to enjoy what I'm doing? Is it going to make sense?
Well, I'm struggling here, but trying to do that. But I guess it's just a matter of redoing and rewatching the video a lot of
Practicing.
time. So yeah.
That's a big, thick sausage finger.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with that.
It takes all kinds.
It takes all. Sometimes the ladies like the sausage fingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good. It's all good, people. But yeah, folks. It's pretty good. We did about an hour tonight on hints. Maybe I don't know. You guys you want more sexy ladies next time? Let me know what you want, and we'll try to cover it a bit more. Because there are different ways of doing things, like I said, but try to keep in mind certain aspects. Yeah, your drawings are going to have a lot more life too. And remember, like hands, they're very, very expressive. That's why not just Italians use them when they talk. But you know, it gives you the extra punctuations and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
All that good stuff. So, especially when you're drawing a character and you're actually I'm trying to find space. What I could do here.
They're a good drama tool.
Good drama. So like even in this example, what I was showing with the female back, like she got a hand up in the air, like either she's waving or it's all sorts of stuff. And another thing that I've talked about in the past too, because a lot of people wanted to know, like when you can kind of do stick figures with balls or cylinder type shapes. So let's say we're going to do a quick female drawing here. Typically with women, you want to angle the hips and the shoulders, the collarbone area. Do them opposite, and that way you're going to have more of like the kind of natural, sexy kind of flow to the body.
Mm.
Usually the hip that juts out, that's where like all the weight is going to be on. And then, yeah, it depends what you want to do with the other part of the leg. But essentially, like, again, I'm just doing a really, really kind of quick, super messy drawing. But it's to kind of talk about like the placement of the hands and stuff. So. Because once you start to get a better idea of how it works, you could really kind of take off with doing a drawing and messing around with kind of how the character speaks with body language and motion and that kind of deal. But like I said, I'll go more in depth with this when I do the female kind of course again, or we'll do like a live stream version of that. Just, like I said, just kind of clean this up a little bit.
Got some folks asking for feet and legs.
Yes, I will be going over those. I think I said a little bit earlier, but yeah, I will be doing feet, legs, all that stuff. We'll break that stuff down, and some kind of like the key aspects of it. Because you could get real, like I said, we could get super technical. We could break down like the shredded look of the muscles, like I did with the back or the arms. We could definitely get into that stuff too, but kind of the natural flow of what I do and how I do it, and it's sort of like in a similar fashion of, again, almost everything is cylinders, that kind of deal. Because like the leg, like obviously we'll do a quick breakdown. The leg is this kind of cylinder shape. There's space for the knee, and then the bottom part. Yeah, this is way sloppier than I intended it to be, but it's a kind of cylinder shape, and then the ball joint where the ankle is, and then the foot. So it's sort of like that. But like I said, I will be breaking that down further for you guys in a way better way. I'll do the short videos, and then we'll do like another big stream like this where it's live, and you guys could ask a couple more questions, and we could get into it a little bit further. But this was, again, just to kind of show how the body language, along with the hands, how it all comes together. And again, this is sort of like more like a messy stick figure type of a drawing, but you can see how animated you could get it just by adding that extra bit with the hands. Obviously, her proportions are a bit messy right now and crazy, but again, like I said, I just wanted to give an example of how you get that extra motion with the arms, with the hands, all that good stuff, and the whole body seems like a little bit more alive. Obviously, it's kind of like I said, she's all over the place at the moment. Because it was only going to be like a stick figure type of drawing. Like I would probably make the legs way bigger and such, but
yeah, could be looks like she's a zombie or something.
Whatever. Yeah.
Flesh-eating monster woman.
She's a monster.
The monster. She's a man eater.
But anyway, like I said, I'm going to get rid of this crap. Like I said, I was kind of just doing the hands for today, but we'll get into more of this stuff in another time. Like I said, I'll get into it this week. I'll get more into the kind of how I do the body and the rest of the legs and all that good stuff. And yeah, she's gonna eat your brains. yeah, no, it'll be good when we cover it. Like I said, I was just doing the hands for tonight, which are all here, and yeah. So study and practice them, mess around with your own. And yeah, we're gonna take it to better places when we get into doing the other stuff, and I'll explain a little bit more too on how, again, like the process of how I do it. This is just the way that I've kind of been doing it, how I studied things. So yeah, if you are a fan of my work, and you love what I've been doing, how I've been doing it, please make sure to jump on and onto like Shadow of the Kraken. You know, we have good stuff here. Look, we got toes over here, so we're going to be getting into feet. We got good hands in this comic as well. And fantastic hands, tremendous.
The best hands.
But yeah, it's going to be cool. So yeah, and you got to think about too. That's the other thing I kind of forgot. If a character is holding an object or something, remember the fingers are bending around the object. So if it's something like a gun that has a thick handle, like your fingers are not going to be touching like your palm and stuff like that. If you're holding a pencil or a straw or something like that, obviously they will. So you got to think about in terms of size of how all that works. But again, grab a water bottle. And again, study, because I'd say a water bottle because you can see through it, so you can kind of see how the joints are in the hands and the fingers and all that kind of stuff. So it is about breaking things down, studying them. I keep telling people, study from life. You study from life. That's going to be the best thing to do, and you're going to get the most natural things out of it. Like I said, I got plenty of hands, so we could look at through the books. If you want to see some more excellent stuff, like I said, click onto either Through the Woods or City of Venus. And yeah, I have plenty of great stuff in here as well. And yeah, just again, whatever helps, whatever works. But also, if you want some really cool books with really hot chicks, you can't go wrong with what I got here.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. But yeah, I might eventually have to pull this stuff into Photoshop as well, and I'll show you like how I do like the shadowing and that kind of deal as well, in a kind of a better way. So like these I think are some pretty damn good hands, especially that left one, because it gives you like kind of that monsterish approach to it. But you can see a lot that's going on in the flow of the knuckles, the hands, the veins, that kind of deal. Something even as like a small panel like the one I have in here, you can see sort of the way that a character is gripping around someone or just grabbing them to get them off and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, play around, do what you gotta, and I think you'll learn a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I pulled it up too just to see how I did some of the hands on here, and yeah, there's great examples all over the place on it. Like this dude.
Vinnie's art things, you'll learn a lot.
Yeah, watch, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be teaching you guys a lot more. You're going to find out how to do like really sexy legs like this, legs, feet, hands, all that good stuff. We'll eventually get to the characters too in motion and like in environments. So we're going to be talking about perspective, that kind of 3D approach to things and how to make things pop a little bit more. Yeah, and then and we'll get more advanced to like these dramatic angles and kind of how everything is in play with the perspective, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's going to be plenty to learn, plenty to look at. Lots of good stuff coming. So yeah, please check out the projects, but yeah, please back Shadow of the Kraken. This is my newest one. I'm working my ass off to give you guys some of the best stuff I possibly could with this project. And in fact, if you haven't seen it in a minute, we're going to play the trailer as well. Thank you, Wookie. Yeah, so remember, guys, I'm keeping it positive here. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna teach more stuff. You know, I want you guys to learn a little bit more. I'm trying to give back as much as I could with everything that I'm doing. There's a lot that I'm juggling. Like I said, writing this project, drawing it, inks, colors, you name it. I kind of jump all over the place with how I work on this book. There's some pages I did all digitally, some of them very traditional. But yeah, whatever kind of works with what I'm feeling at the moment, I go with. So it also keeps things fresh for me and kind of the approach on all this stuff. You know, but like I said, but we'll get into a lot more. We'll play around with a lot of cool things. Wookie, I saw what you said earlier. That was great. You don't know how to draw feet, but you're good at hiding them. So you went to the Rob Liefeld school of feet. But don't worry, we'll get you in there drawing some very cool, nice feet, toes, all that good stuff. But yeah, like I said, we'll break it down. We'll even go back into the face too. We'll show a little bit more expressions and you know how to emote with these characters in a proper way to get what you need across. Because with the face, like you're dealing with other muscles and stuff that are again pulling, scrunching. If you smile, your cheeks go up higher. Yeah, there's lots of different ways of breaking things down, and like I said, we'll do the best to kind of approach that. And yeah, I'll try to get a little bit better with some stuff too. I might do a couple drawings in advance, and then I'll break it down further. I'll scan it in, and then I'll break it down further. Doing like the tutorial part of it. I think that could be a good approach too for you guys. So yeah, like I said, I'm brainstorming some stuff out there a little bit as well. So legs, feet we'll be covering this week, and then probably on the weekend we'll go a little bit further into details with all that good stuff. But yeah, like I said, and until then, there's going to be plenty of videos to take a look at. Where is? Like I said, I'm trying to find where they all right. So yeah, so like we'll start breaking down some stuff so you guys know a little bit more of that proper anatomy for the legs. We'll get into the ankles and all that good stuff too, because there's a lot of interesting stuff that happens when you're moving your feet. If they're flat out, if you're arching them, all that kind of stuff. So we'll get into it. But yeah, and then we'll get into more poses too and things to play around with. And yeah, like again, between guys and girls, remember, like the female body has most of their power and stuff comes from their hips and upper thighs, and they have an hourglass shape. Men, they have more of that kind of V shape. They're bigger on top. It's usually the shoulders and the chest that are bigger or broader, and then it tapers into like that kind of V shape. So there's going to be a contrast between those things, and we'll get into that as well. But yeah, we're going to have some cool hot drawings and fantastic things like that. Hail Frankie as my brother. Also the writer of Through the Woods. Pull it up real quick as well. Back here. Yep. So we have 720 backers on this project. These go out the door immediately along with City of Venus. So if you haven't gotten them yet, please do. We sign them, I pack them up, shoot them over to the post office like the same day or next day. So yeah, this is the hardcover book, 100 pages. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you haven't gotten it yet, please do. Lots of great stuff in here, plenty of sexy things, and again, you see a good example of well, yeah, the feet are covered by socks, but I'll get into the toes and all that good stuff. The nice butt, legs, again, fantastic hands over here, fantastic, brilliant, if I may say so myself. But yeah, again, extra cool stuff here. You could learn from. You could see, kind of that kind of dainty pose that I did with her with that hand. And you see the flow of it. Again, it's what you're looking for in a drawing, what you want to say, what you want to do with it, how the characters are expressing themselves. Remember, the hands are an extension of the rest of you, and that's why sign language is so important. There's lots to gain from it. So the better your hands are, the better your drawings are going to be overall, and the better your storytelling is going to be. And you can definitely see it in these pages and a lot of the stuff that I have going on here. Plenty of good stuff to take a look at. Try to see what else is on here. Yeah, so we're good with all that great stuff. Guys, girls, you people rock. We're gonna have more. We're gonna get into more stuff. We're gonna have more fun. I'll do more showcasing of different creators as well and their projects. So again, I'm still doing everything, but I'm focusing just a little bit more on the teaching parts of it. So if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ring the bell for notifications. Tell other people about it all. I think you guys should be very happy. Just like this girl dancing here.
Back through the woods today on Indiegogo.
God bless Kelsey Shannon. This is a fan favorite. We never play it once.
Back through the woods.
We played at least 3 times.
Today on Indiegogo.
And once more.
Back through the woods. Today on Indiegogo.
So do your part and help out creators like myself. We give back. I'm always about the fans first. That's why I'm doing these courses. That's why I'm taking time out of my day to do this stuff, to give back to everybody here, and so you can see a little bit more of what we're doing and how we create these wonderful, fantastic books with fantastic other people here like Carla and Witch Hunter. Back this beautiful project. Help out independent creators. The better that these projects do, the more we could give back to everybody. And that's great story, great artwork, lots of amazing stuff. Matt is a fantastic creator as well. He's been working on his video games. If you want to tell them a little bit about that, go for it, buddy.
For 10,000 hours.
For 10,000 hours. Savage.
Yeah. Yeah, you like old school sword and sorcery, action platforming with some RPG, Conan the Barbarian style retro gaming. Check out Savage the Shard of Ghosts on Steam.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Oh, I was just reading Blue Samurai. For a few minutes now, I've been hearing Joe Pesci in my head saying, back a copy of True the Woods. Or you want True the Woods. The 2 Utes. The 2 what? The 2 Utes. What the hell is a Ute? The 2 youths. Oh shit, we're gonna have good times here. So I want to thank everybody once again. Carla, Matt. Like I said, we're gonna have McKinney 90 on here as well. At some point, we'll cover some more female stuff, since he's also known for drawing some pretty hot ladies. Another great talented artist. We'll have some more people on. But like I said, I'm kind of rotating it a bit, messing around from week to week. We'll continue the party. So